So the thing that makes municipal bonds different from other kinds of bonds is they're what we call tax exempt. If I, as an investor, buy a bond that has been issued by, say, the city of Chicago, the payments that I receive from the city of Chicago are exempt from federal income taxes. I don't have to pay any income tax on the payments that the city gives me for having loaned it my money. And that turns out to be a big advantage for state and local governments. It allows them to borrow money at interest rates that are quite a bit lower than they would be, because the investors who loan them the money get to keep all of the money that they receive from making that investment. Every now and then, Congress asks whether it should continue to support the exemption for municipal bonds. Certainly the federal government has lots of demands for the money that it collects, and there's some who think that the dollars that the federal government uses to support states and localities with the municipal tax exemption should be used elsewhere. That debate really flared up this past spring as part of the debate around what became the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the Reconciliation Bill. And the municipal bond exemption was really closely scrutinized. Several members of Congress, several members of the Congressional Budget Office and elsewhere in Washington were looking very carefully at whether they wanted to continue to support that exemption or whether replacing it with something else would be a better way forward. We received a lot of questions at the Center for Municipal Finance as that debate unfolded. People wanted to know exactly what municipal bonds were, what the exemption is, but above all else, they wanted to know what difference the municipal bond tax exemption makes in communities. And so one of the things that we did at our Center for Municipal Finance was created a series of reports, one for each congressional district, that tried to answer that question, that made clear exactly how many school buildings, hospital buildings, miles of roads had been built with municipal bonds in each of the 435 congressional districts. That information turned out to be very useful, and we were aware of several members of Congress and their staffs who used it as they were considering the position they wanted to take on that debate. Several members of Congress who were big proponents of the municipal exemption had all of those reports in a binder that they carried around to meetings all over Capitol Hill. And fortunately, we since then have been kind of recognized by several of those members of Congress and their staffs for having brought some important information to that debate. So that's the sort of thing that you hope to do as a scholar of public policy, is to make sure that the debate is as well informed as it can be at a moment when that debate is unfolding, which is exactly what happened earlier this year.